Good afternoon, everybody. This is Lorraine, Alternative Homesteading. Just wanted to check in. We had a couple of inches of rain overnight, and the temperatures dropped. It's supposed to be in the 20s tonight. It got significantly colder. It was in the 50s and 60s during the day this week, and now it's going to drop to the 20s. But this beautiful piece of art, it's called an ACEO. ACEO. These are little tiny original arts. This is a hand-painted art. I purchased it through eBay overseas, and we'll focus on this cute little kitty cat while I read a response to something I wrote, I guess last year. I'm not going to say who wrote it, but they wrote a response to my asking if the individual ever filed a FOIA request, a Freedom of Information request. And this is his response. I did file the request. The FBI met with me face to face. They literally put me in a straitjacket and handcuffed me. One FBI agent spit in my eye and pistol whipped my eye socket. Their response was, stop trying to expose something that is outside of your control. We jack off every night thinking about torturing you. Don't be a martyr. This will not stop until we have your death certificate. You will allow us to torture you, or we will put you in a straitjacket, drug you, and beat you as we please if you continue to tell people about what we do. So at first I thought this was a joke, right? So I followed the name of the individual to see that this individual did in fact respond to some other people in the past. And one of the things that he wrote is, I am a target for psychological abuse and financial destruction. So he responds to a question, how do I prove I'm being gang stalked? Okay, so this is what I want to read. So in response to that question, how do I prove I'm being gang stalked? He says that there are only 3 categories of people in the United States. The last time I posted something like this, I was captured, tortured, threatened, and warned not to speak the truth again. They said, don't be a martyr, Justin. Come on, man. Things would be like this anyway. We've designed your life to be as realistic as possible. Just ignore them. They can be there. There's nothing you can do to stop us. We own you. He said, I could write 100 pages of details for each category, but I will be summarizing extremely. 1. Gang stalkers. Gang stalkers and those who have been programmed, whether knowingly or not, and or are aware of the program, are all on the same team, whether active or inactively involved. The category compromises, get this, folks, 90%, 7% of the U.S.? Is that possible? And number 2, neutrals. The people who have not been programmed, brainwashed. They're either too young, too insignificant, not a concern, part of the control group, the scientific control group, or somehow otherwise, for whatever reason possible, not under mind control, not a gang stalker, not a cop, not a government official, not a government employee, not military, not a citizen spy, not a shopkeeper or employee has initiated into the program and given access to any type of secret website or app that gives them access to be able to track targeted individuals' location with the intent of using the same time entry-exit tactics, deliberate annoyances, noise campaigns, walking in front of the target when they are driving. As soon as the target steps out, neighbors will step outside. Target leaves, neighbors leave no matter what time of the day. Getting suddenly close to target at the grocery store, making sure to time artificial synchronicities and fake coincidences around the target for the target to notice, using directed conversation for the target to hear, mobbing, brighting, anchoring, physical assaults, phone tampering, email hacking, key loggers on phone, invasion of privacy, no real friends, no real relationships, because everyone in the target's life will be aware of the target's enrollment in the slow kill torture program, and they will have hidden motives and objectives. That is 3% of the population. Then he says targeted individuals. So now I don't get it, because first it's 97% and then the 3, that's 100% of the population. So where did the target, and then he's going on to targeted individuals, are people whose lives are controlled by the people on the gang stalking team. Most of the people around the targeted individual who interact with them and speak their scripted street theater skit lines within earshot of them are on the gang stalking team by design. Events, scenarios, objects are staged in the targeted individual's life. Almost everything that happens in the target's life is orchestrated, manipulated, controlled, sabotaged, ruined, destroyed, tormented, tortured, interfered with, watched, monitored, recorded, premeditated by other people without the target's permission, by design, intentional, deliberate, unwanted, part of secret experiments, missions, goals, objectives, etc. Targeted individuals comprise less than 1% of the population. I don't know how many there really are, because over 99% of the people who claim to be targets are actually gang stalkers undercover trying to mind FUCK the target. Well, I'm going to tell you, folks, that I believe some of this to be true. I mean, a lot of it to be true. And I also know for a fact that many of the people who claim to be targets are stalkers undercover. And what they do is they will friend you, do a lot of things for you, talk to you. They might even recommend you to things, and then they suddenly, something goes wrong and they totally disappear. This happened to me twice recently. One person I didn't really know from a hole in the wall, and the other person I thought was a cyber friend or whatever. But then she totally tells me, remove me from your mailing list because your URL list is the reason why you're targeted more, and I don't want your URL list. So I took her off the URL list, and then she says, I don't want correspondence from you at all. So she can't even be honest, right? So this is a lot of information to swallow, folks. I believe that a lot of this is true. This individual claims to be a target for psychological abuse and financial destruction. This is fairly recent. This was posted back in October. I just found it last night. Mostly because he responded to something I wrote last year, and about the FBI harassing him in person. And I thought, well, that's a little, I've never heard anyone say that before. So let me just check him out. And some of his other comments seem to be somewhat bona fide. No, so what are your thoughts on this, folks? Do you believe most of this to be true, that there are 3 categories of people in the United States? Would you venture a guess on the percentages that he utilized? And of course, how do you prove these percentages? I mean, we already know somewhat factually that 73% of the people being trafficked and stalked in this program are women. So I'm a little curious if you've got any questions or comments on this, or if you can validate any of this, or even if this individual is going to listen to this, because I'll probably post it to one of my Quora pages, and see what people have to say on this. I mean, it's quite fascinating. Do I know this person? I don't know this person. This is the first time I'm actually seeing any posts by this person. Again, my post was from last year and they're responding to it this year, but that's not an uncommon thing. That does happen, especially when people discover, different forums and start posting, etc. But I hope everybody's having a great day. I also wanted to mention that the criminals, they love to do stupid stuff, right? They love to do stupid stuff. So they emptied... I have a tube of aloe vera gel. And the reason I have it is because these criminals burn me. So I go to use it the other night, and it's not on my bathroom counter. Well, where is it? It's mixed in with my cleaning supplies, and it's empty. It's virtually, there's maybe a drop or two left in it. So they squeezed it all out. This is a common thing that these criminals do. I went to put on my rain jacket. I'm reminded that they cut the buckle off of it last year. These people are just totally relentless. Just relentless. I go to get a cough drop, right? And they're in a little bag next to, on my sofa here. And I find the bag and I take it out, and every one of the drops are all stuck together. Now, these are individually wrapped. And they're all stuck together because these criminals microwave them. Sort of like what they did with my marshmallows that I just bought. The marshmallows, I buy organic marshmallows, folks, and they are individually coated in like a powder that prevents them from sticking. And they're always like that. But now this is the second time. They were fine, and the criminals intentionally heat them up so that when I open the bag, they're all stuck together. These are little immature baby, teenage tactics that these criminals use, which is why when you report them to other people, they think you're nuts. Like, who does this stuff? Who does this stuff? The intelligence agencies, these paid-for-hire criminal stalkers. It's intentional. They want to make you look crazy because they're friggin' nuts. They designed this program against you and me. They watch us 24/7 so that they can carefully orchestrate all your maneuvers, what you do, what you eat, what you drink, what you wear, so that they can intentionally destroy, maneuver, fabricate something around that. It's sort of like when I wash my clothes that they have intentionally scraped the enamel off my 3-year-old washing machine. But they did this a year and a half ago. It was literally brand new. But they did this stuff in Manalapan, New Jersey, in the house that I lived in for 30 years as original owner that I renovated top to bottom. So anyway, folks, that's my little rant for today. It's very overcast, cold. The temperatures are going to drop. I hope to get another video out to you later today. And once again, please like, comment, share. Welcome to the newcomers. I hope you're learning from this, and share if you feel inclined to do so. And I'll talk to you soon.